Hi guys, this is Brett from createdbrain.co.uk. Today I'm just going to have a look at the HTC One A9, which Vodafone have kindly sent me to review. Now I've already got the box contents out already, so we can have a quick look at that, and also I'll show you the design of the HTC One A9 and then I'll go into the actual operating system a little bit, because this actually features the new Android 6 OS, which is codenamed Marshmallow. And it brings to the table quite a lot of security updates, I would say, more than anything else. But for the most part it does look very similar to the previous Lollipop OS. But I'll try and show you a couple of the new features obviously during the review. But for now, let's just have a quick look at the actual box contents. I'm just going to put that to one side for a moment. Inside the actual box itself, the box is pretty well designed in its own right, and I won't show you the actual inside of that, but everything is pretty well packaged. And what you'll find is you'll get this travel adapter, which is for your USB mains, and you just literally push that up, and then obviously you've got a really handy travel adapter there. Of course they've got the HTC branding on that. You also then get a micro USB cable. Now the actual Android 6 OS does support the new micro USB Type-C connector, which is obviously reversible, a bit like the lightning port connector. However, this actual model doesn't support that at this stage. Obviously HTC probably think that there's not enough devices out there to warrant obviously its kind of implementation. However, the actual Android OS can support it, but sadly the actual phone just uses a standard micro USB 2 connector. Anyway, so you get that cable there. You also get a little tool in the box. Now this little tool is designed to eject both the nano SIM, and also there's a micro SD card slot, and I'll show you that in just a moment. So that little tool is used for that, and these are really handy to keep hold of, because otherwise you have to then dig out a paper clip to do the same job. You also get a pair of headphones and a couple of additional earbuds in the actual box, so you can obviously you'll suit your kind of size ears here. So you've got a couple of spare kind of earbuds there, and the actual earphones themselves are in the ear, and obviously of course you've got the HTC branding on there again, and you just got a kind of a cool end button as well. That can be used similar to the iPhone to obviously skip tracks, and obviously to answer and end phone calls. They're not actually that bad actually, they're very comfortable, and it goes well with the actual boom sound technology which is in the HTC. But unfortunately the actual speakers themselves aren't the HTC boom sound, only the actual wired variant is. So in other words, you won't get that unless you plug in the pair of headphones. And to be honest, you will need that boom sound technology, because it does make a massive difference to the quality for your audio enjoyment. But anyway, that's a quick look at what you actually get inside the box. Now, as for the handset itself, I'm just going to turn off that screen for a moment. Yeah, you probably have read in the press by now, because obviously this arrived at the latter part of last year, that most people have actually stated that it does look very familiar to a competitor's brand, and you'd be correct in I would be lying at this stage if I didn't say that it is a blatant inspirational copy of the iPhone 6s, because it is, even down to the actual banding round the back of the phone. Now I'm personally not too bothered about that, to be honest. Because what you actually get here is an Android device that's possibly got some of the best premium build quality I've actually ever seen, and it does look a fantastic bit of kit actually. But as you can see, really the actual front of the phone is mainly taken up by the 5-inch display. It's full HD, and you've got at the top here a front facing camera. Obviously you got your earpiece there, and down here you actually have the kind of fingerprint sensor, and it is pretty sensitive, I have to say, and it also doubles up as your home button as well, and you can see here I can use it to turn on the display as well. So on the underside you have your speaker grill here. your micro USB port, your microphone pickup, and your 3.5mm headphone jack. Now the speaker actual port, I personally not a fan of its placement, to be honest, and the reason why I'm not a fan of it is because the way I hold the phone when I'm playing games, because I naturally hold the phone like this. As you can see, my hand is actually covering and muting the actual speaker. Obviously you can turn the phone round and obviously play it like that, and obviously that negates that problem, but then the other issue I had was that I kept knocking and brushing past the Touch ID sensor and then going back to the home screen. So then I had to then in turn go into the settings option to disable that feature of that fingerprint sensor. So there is a little bit of adjustment I needed to do in order for me to actually, you know, utilize this phone a little bit better. But anyway, let's have a continuation with the actual design. On the side here, you may just make out you've got your micro USB port here, and you've also got your nano SIM slot there. And what you can do, you use that tool and just push that in there. That ejects the actual micro SD card, and as you can see, and then you put that back. You can actually get this device, this micro SD card, encrypted, so it'll only work on your device. So obviously you have got that new security features, and I'll show you those in just a moment. On the other side you have your kind of volume up and down control. Now I don't know if you can make that out, but you can just see that the power button is slightly ridged, and that does make it a little bit easier to kind of push when you're obviously trying to do screenshots, because you can use that with the power and volume down button. But as you can see, nothing at the top, and obviously you've got this banding effect around here and also at the, you know, the bottom here as well. But I think, you know, aesthetically, you know, the phone does look a really, you know, sexy bit of kit really. The aluminium kind of finish is you know, definitely when you hold it in the hand feels, you know, premium. And like I said, it is one of the best Android handsets I've used in terms of build quality. But anyway, at the back, just to finish off, you have your kind of 13 megapixel camera lens at the top here next to the I think it's a dual tone flash. And its kind of placement in the middle is a little bit, you know, 50-50 on that really, because I was concerned a little bit by when you're obviously holding it to take kind of camera shots, if that your finger will get in the way of that. And you know, I'm still not, you know, 100% decided on if I'm a fan of its placement, to be honest. As you can see, the only other thing you've got here is the HTC logo at the back. So that pretty much kind of finishes off the box content and the actual aesthetics and design on it. Now, like I said, I think overall it is a great handset. You know, the only thing I would kind of question is that even though it's got a premium finish, if the handset is a little bit, you know, certainly when it's colder, it does feel a little bit slipperier, you know, in terms of using it for a camera. But that's again something that you can actually get used to. So there you go really, that's just a quick overview of the box content and the phone design itself. The next part I'm just going to look at the operating system and obviously delve into a couple of the Android 6 features and how the HTC has implemented those. Just like to say thanks for watching for this first part, and I'll see you on the next stage.